Good evening, curling fans. Welcome into a Thursday night here in Zemst, Belgium for some BCL League A matchup going on between Desperate Housekeepers and N19, two of our powerhouse teams in this league, or traditional powerhouse teams in this league. You know, looking forward to it. We've got an exciting weekend coming up. This is the first of 4 matches, mostly League A matches. We have a little League B tomorrow night, but then the rest of the weekend, all League A. So we're looking for the top teams coming in, trying to play and get ready to finish out this first half of the season. And the table is still wide open.
Yeah, the table is wide open, but a lot will change over the coming 4 days. I've looked at the schedule. We have a whopping number of 24 games scheduled here at the Belgium Curling League. That's a big job for the teams, playing multiple games, of course, but of course a big job for the league organizers, Dirk Heilen, for instance, for us, of course, because we will bring 4 matches to you out there. I will have to play 2 as well because we also participate in the league. This is how committed we are to curling. And then, and for the ice makers, never forget the ice makers. They're in for a rough ride as well because most of the ice makers also play. So in Belgium, we're going to sweep the ice, repebble, sweep, repebble, and then it's going to be Monday before we know it.
Yep. But a lot of action going on. We're actually even deciding only to broadcast 2 matches on Saturday because there's actually 4 sessions. That's a bit much on the throat, so we figured, okay, we'll take the evening sessions, afternoon and evening, bring you guys some good curling. But we'll give you updates on everything that happens as it goes on.
Yes, so tonight, League A, the major league. The big money league with 0 prize money, but a lot of bragging rights, of course. But this is where you want to end up. This is what all of the teams are fighting for. Teams in League C, League B, and we cannot really announce it, but next year, after New Year's, basically the second round, Dirk also announced that there are even more teams showing interest to join the league. So we're very close to kind of hitting the limits, maybe kind of putting another layer of sheets on top of the curling club here. But yeah, League A is basically the thing. So let's have a quick peek at League A. This is where things are interesting. If you look at the standings, Takeout Tigers, strong season. I think it's a bit bragging, but I think it's also fair to say with 3 wins and just 1 loss, that's a strong opening of the season. So far, Takeout Tigers top of the league. But as you can see, Takeout Tigers played 4 matches. The runners up for the first position only played 3 matches, and there are even teams like Team Reese, Viry-Châtillon. They haven't even started the league yet. So it's a kind of a shifted way of looking at the league, but a lot will change because we will have Team Reese coming over this weekend, Viry coming over this weekend. So they will kick off their tournament, and who knows, they might just catch up and be on top at some point.
Yeah, so things are going to shake up after this weekend, but I still think that as a member of the Takeout Tigers, I'm still pretty proud of how we're playing. But if you notice, all of those teams at the top have 1 loss. There is a potential for a circle at the end of this season. If we
4-way tie, basically.
4-way tie between the Takeout Tigers, Glasshawk Rangers, Team Verraken, and Desperate Housekeepers. Lots of things like we've beaten the Rangers have beaten Verraken has beaten the Housekeepers have beaten us. So if things play out the rest of the way, knows what could happen. So
yeah. It's very hard to predict. We try to make a prediction, but it's so far down the future, and we just don't know. And if you look at the bottom of the league, because that's also a thing, Team Reese, they're the new kid in town here together with Kekul. They're trying to stay in the A League. That's kind of their thing. And N19, 3 losses so far. They play tonight against the Housekeepers, so their mission is also kind of staying in the A League as a kind of a former national team, a big tradition team here in Belgium. But this is how things work out. I mean, the Belgium League is here for how many seasons? I forgot. I don't know by heart. But at some point, you get new teams joining, and some teams just kind of drop to B. And then we have a lot of tradition clubs already in the B League.
Yeah. The Brewers Ducks and the Grey Ducks dropped down. Staying good, a long-time A stalwart dropped down to B, and missed promotion back up to A. So, that B League is no joke either. But this A League is where it's at. And so once, the big step is getting that promotion. The next step is staying there, and that's the hard part. Get through your first season, and even if you get through that first season, maybe the second season you get relegated. You don't know.
No.
I think the only thing we can probably guarantee right now is that Team Verreken is going to be in Division A for a long time, League A for a long time.
Probably.
But you never know what's going to happen. People can retire, they get old, they suddenly forget how to curl. Anything could happen,
Yeah, that's true. And I think for teams in the B League, now there's just one B League, so 2 teams going to promote, the champion of B and the runner-up. But after New Year's, a lot of teams will go from C to B. Suddenly we'll have 2 groups in the B, which means you will have to win your group in B to be able to get an A. So if you want to play in the A, now is the time, because after New Year's, it's getting more difficult, and I think next year even more difficult. Basically, that's the story for the last couple of seasons. It's more difficult to get in this kind of sweet spot of European curling, and I get to announce that this week. That's a bit weird to say, of course. the epicenter of European club curling, perhaps, is.
It's a little something, yeah. We're just as competitive, I think, as the Euros. The European tournament going on right now. A's and B's playing up in Sweden and Finland. It's but hey, right here in Belgium, we've got an epic weekend of curling coming up, and so what do you feel about this matchup? We have the Housekeepers against N19. Housekeepers have been a pretty tough team. And here's Dirk joining in.
Our league organizer. We are currently left. Do you want to say hello to your mom, or
carefully staying just off camera?
Yeah. I think he just popped in just for a second there. The mustache man, of course, all known legends. But yeah, for this game, Housekeepers against N19, going to be a very interesting game. We're going to kind of announce the story of the Housekeepers, but for N19, I think the story is they are the former national men's team. Like a couple of years ago, it was Team Verreken and N19 always battling between each other to kind of be the national team, but Verreken, they kind of took it a couple of steps further, and now N19, they are trying to stay in as a tradition club, and they should be able to stay. They are the former club of Campina. That club only exists on paper. They play here in Zemst, but they're still a strong team, and I think they can surprise. Although today Gerry N19 is not here. He's over at Östersund to coach the men's national team. So they will bring in Steph, their alternate, and it's his first game of the season. The last game he played was February this year. So I'm curious to see if curling is something like riding a bicycle or skiing, if you can kind of pick it up after a couple of stones, but it might show, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah, and the Housekeepers, they've been putting pressure on Team Verreken the last couple of seasons. A bunch of young guys, young athletic guys, really trying to push their way and becoming the national team. I expect nothing but a strong match from there. They have Bram, a former member of Team Verreken, has been playing with the Housekeepers for the last couple of years, has really helped coach these guys, get them up to the kind of dedication and discipline that they need. Sebastian, really smart, the professor doctor. He is a professor at the University of Antwerp, so we have to call him Professor Doctor. Really smart guy, knows his stuff. Brecht, very athletic, very, very talented guy. He's one of those guys you want him throwing the 4 stones. Give him a shot, give him the stone in the hand to win, and he's one of those guys in there. But don't sleep on Kevin setting things up at the front. Very good with setting those guards, setting the table for the rest of the lineup. So I really feel like good things for Housekeepers. This season and tonight. Mostly we're looking at tonight, and right now, I think they're looking pretty strong.
Yeah. So that leaves us kind of with the final thing to do before we really kind of peek into the others. Although they're still warming up, I think we have some time to talk about things. But let's say, what are the predictions? And talking about predictions, if we look at the score, John is leading 3-2 so far. So,
I have not picked N19 yet, sorry.
And now
that was left over from last.
That was left over from last time.
I picked the red team last time, and that was left over.
Almost spoiled his counter pick here, but yeah, it means I get to go first because I was wrong.
Yeah,
Dirk left me hanging. That's all I can say about that match.
Mustache man
the
did
mustache
not.
man disappointed. Yep. But yeah, I get to go first, and I think tonight I am going for the Housekeepers. They have been second in the league for 3 kind of rounds in a row. They are, in my opinion, the second best team in Belgium. That's kind of an established title for them. They won the Hohen Carolus Cup last season. Also, we played against them. They're not unbeatable. That's the case for any team, but they are so strong, and especially their fourth, Brecht. He looks like this very innocent, likable blonde kid, but once he's down on the ice, he has no mercy. He will put them on the pin over and over and over until you kind of doubt your own curling qualities, basically. So that's how strong he is. I think he is potentially one of the strongest curlers in the Belgium scene. So I'm putting my house or what's left of it on the Housekeepers tonight.
Well, I am going to join you with the Housekeepers, and I think I gave it away in my pregame talk and my warm-up speech with them, because I really like the quality of the way these guys play. Not that I think anything less of N19, but we've seen that they've struggled. They're bringing in somebody who hasn't curled since February, so is it going to be enough to keep up with the Housekeepers? I really just don't think so. So it's very easy. Counterpick.
Before we hop to the ice, like one last question. We were talking about money time. How big is the stress in this game for N19? Is this already a do or die match for N19, or are they looking to win against Ries, Virik, Heun, and see if they can beat those kind of teams to maybe end up somewhere in the middle? How big is the stress for the team at the moment?
I think there's a lot of pressure on them. I mean, obviously they still have 3 more matches after this. They still have 3 more opportunities to put teams below them on the table, but I think they still want to get it done. I don't think they want to wait to those last 3. And 6 points isn't always a guarantee. 6 points isn't always a guarantee that you're going to stay up. So should be safe if they can win 3 of these next 4, but I think they'd like to get it started now instead of waiting till the last weekend.
Yeah, it could be more relaxing just to have that one win. Also against one of the stronger teams, if you kind of win against the Housekeepers, that's kind of brings you to a more comfortable position going into these last couple of matches. If you go with 4 losses, 0 wins, then it's really kind of a matter of now we cannot make any mistakes anymore, and that could be something that's in the back of your mind, throwing your first stone in the first end and all the way through the game. Like any minor upset could be kind of the beginning of a snowball there, and maybe that's something they want to avoid in this game. But as you said, well, they're not playing with their full kind of A lineup, so that's kind of a question mark there. How good is Steph, and can he bring his curling abilities there? But then again, the secret weapon on that side of the team is the Magician.
Yep.
He is always in for a trick.
Yep, Stefan, he is one of the legends of the Belgian Curling League for a reason. So I think, if you give him an opportunity, he's going to be able to carry this team, but that's going to be the thing, if he gets the opportunity, because Housekeepers are really good about keeping things locked down and playing their strategy and forcing teams to maybe change theirs. So, and we've also we failed to mention, they sanded the stones this week. So we're seeing a huge amount of curl. I was in here training last night, and normally where we'd be aiming about 3 to 4 feet outside the center line, we're aiming like 6 to 8 feet now outside of center line to get it to curl back in. So we're going to see, and it means a lot. It's going to put a lot more pressure on the sweepers to get things done. It's going to put a lot more pressure on getting the speed right, strategies right. So I'm looking forward to tonight, seeing this will be our first match on the really swingy stones, and we'll see how things go.
Yeah, and there's one angle we didn't mention, but for Stefan and also for Bart, this is also a game they play a week before they go into the seniors challenge. So I expect like those type of senior players to kind of ramp up towards their best skill level, also in regard to playing the challenges next weekend. Also a challenge you will be playing, of course, John, so this is probably something you will keep an eye on, kind of as they are going to be your opponents on the ice. You will have to face the Magician, you will have to face the Walter, you will have to face the Gatling gun, Tom. So all of these legends are going to compete against you on the ice, John. Of course, you will have the mustache man, but that's something we're looking forward to as well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week. I loved being out on the ice last night, throwing stones and seeing the curl, and knowing that next week it's going to be really top tension, high tension matches, really tense, and a very exciting weekend coming up next weekend. Mm-hmm. But for tonight, we have League A matching going on. Desperate Housekeepers versus N19. They are just getting started. Looks like N19 has the hammer. So Kevin will be starting things off for the Housekeepers.
Right.
Oh. Whoops.
This is the second stone. There was already a red stone in play there.
Oh, well, then we have it wrong. Before we even started, I thought we managed to time it just right.
Yeah, for a minute there, I was like, the first stone of the game and you throw a takeout? That's odd. It's something you don't see every...
Okay, so Housekeepers do have the hammer. Let's get this going.
And Steph is playing second and vice skip. And according to Steph, he is vice skip because the team doesn't have that much faith in his sweeping skills.
Oh.
But probably a joke. And a first missed takeout, and I'm going to have to quote you, John, there. Will the sanding of the stones be like a thing here tonight? Maybe that was a first sign of that.
Yeah, that was one of the things that we noticed on our takeouts last night was how far the stones were moving, even on the high-speed stones. So really is going to take something for the new guys to really, or for Steph to figure out.
Housekeepers
going to split the house here. All right, Steph's first stone since February. Going with the takeout here. Hoping for it to curl. This one actually isn't moving as much as they'd like. Does make contact, gets it out of the house, but they do lose a shooter as well.
Yep. Wat is de snelheid? Wat jij de rest?
So without the stone in the house, just going to be going back with a draw. Keep the house split, force N19 to chase. And I see Leon in the chat. Sorry, I did notice you in the warm-up or in the pregame, but obviously we were talking. But so Leon putting his vote in for N19.
Interesting, because Leon is probably scouting the Housekeepers since Glasgow Rangers are playing the Housekeepers on Saturday evening. It's going to be streamed. It's going to be on the B sheet though, so if you're scouting the C sheets, then sorry, won't learn that much. Unless you play multiple games and you play a game on the C sheet, who knows, but I don't know the whole schedule by heart.
Ooh, this one doesn't quite curl over, so definitely going to see some differences on the ice, on the different sheets. So I know they were doing some work because they found that one side of the ice was a little more flat or kind of straighter. So obviously with the sanding of the stones, they also did some prep on the ice on this sheet. So we're going to see how well that works. Leon picked the Housekeepers, but he's supporting N19. Okay, so he's playing both sides.
Yeah.
So no matter who wins, he comes out on top.
I think.
Cool.
I get it. I mean, Housekeepers are maybe an opponent for winning the round. So you're always hoping your opponent is going to lose a couple of points down the road.
Well.
Stefan looking at a couple of different options. Go the hit and roll, get behind the guard. Try to swing around behind the other.
Come on, hit. Come on.
You can see up in the back of that previous shot, there you go, we have the timers. So the A-League matches predominantly are played with a time clock or with the thinking clock whenever they have somebody available. This one's going to just tick on that one guard, one stone, gets rid of the back though, and stays in the house.
Ah, ik had hem even zo uit zien komen. 2-5. 2-5, 2-6.
So possibly needs a little bit more ice on that one from Stefan for Bart, but it did get rid of it, just unfortunately rolled out into the open.
Well, not wearing the team jersey. I asked about that. They are working on it.
Really trying to sweep this one hard. Did they give him enough ice? Ooh, not enough ice. Need to give him a little bit more, just kind of ticks it out of the way.
Missed takeout, and that's the third so far in this game.
Yeah, I think that could be a storyline we'll have to keep an eye on for how this match progresses. I see Stefan has already given more ice for this one than the previous, but it's going from inside out, so will this curl more? And it looks like it's curling quite a bit. They're going to catch the stone, and shooter rolls, stays in play, but it's outside of the house. The important thing is getting rid of that one, but they did want that one in the house. So another open hit for Brahm here. Just get rid of this red. Shooter stay in the house. Force N19 to chase. Originally called him off, but this one's curling a lot. Breck trying to hold this one straight. Unfortunately, it's going to catch their own.
Ouch.
Ooh.
2 missed takeouts in a row for Bram. And suddenly it really changes a lot.
Kunnen ze geen dubbelen?
No more yellow in the house.
Yeah, that one just kind of took off on them. I think they're going to be figuring out the lines.
Het is een eerste, hè. Ze willen met een eerste vooral dubbel. Met een tweede willen ze scoren. En dit is het beste tegen dubbel. Ja.
Yeah, I think this first end is really kind of figuring out what's happening with the lines. I think both teams kind of struggle with that so far.
In het huis gaat die schaans liggen voor geen dubbel. Of toch geen dubbel en blijven liggen. Wat voor tijd hebben?
Stefan briefly going through the ice microphone zone, so we get a little bit of an echo there. So wanting to split the house here, they'd like to be top of the 4 foot, just on the opposite side of the center line of that previous stone. This one not really curling as much, going out that way. And a little bit heavy as well. That's Sebastian going to try to sweep this one through, and that one goes through easily.
Yeah, a little bit was a little bit underestimating. Another miss here.
Stefan giving Housekeepers a little bit of extra time there by going down the center of the ice, the center of the sheet.
Whoa! Whoa!
The thinking time does not start until the team clears the sheet. Trying to get this one over, and this was going to fly by. Wow.
What is happening? Is this League A, John? Are we did we miss something? Is this the year 2019 and we're
I think some teams maybe have missed throwing some stones this week since they got standard and they're not used to that break. Although that one felt like it stayed wide, so maybe he was just off the broom.
Who knows?
Van voor in het huis.
But 2 red stones in the house,
Just wit raken.
and it's going to be a force 2-1. Forcing Brecht to draw against 3 red stones there.
Housekeepers are scared because of Sven.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Now, this
Steph
one is
coming out to try
light.
to get it. Yeah, he was trying to get a little too cute and hogged it.
I think I've
Or-
never seen this many misses in an A-League match. They're like, oh, yeah.
Well,
Vriendelijk, guys.
didn't hog it. Like this got
Snelle
over.
snelheid.
Housekeepers potentially looking to play for a blank.
Oh yeah, there's only one in the house. I've been saying two, but that's not the case. Now, if there is a time and place not to miss a takeout, it's now.
Girl. Girl.
Trying to get this one to curl over. Is it outside again?
It's okay.
Nope, that one's all right. Just catches
Hier
it,
ging echt terug opnieuw naar buiten.
clears things, and he said, yep, a little bit outside. So
No.
that is a blank end for the Housekeepers. So they will
Conclusion. Yeah, go ahead.
they will retain the hammer, and the score will stay 0.
Conclusion for me is a whole lot of misses, but 0 damage for both teams so far. And
Yep.
missed opportunity maybe for Housekeepers to have some hammer efficiency, but setting that aside, I think both teams are going to be happy they survived.
Yeah, I don't think the Housekeepers are going to be a little bit. I don't think they're going to be happy leaving that one short. All right, Leon, thanks for popping in. Hope to see you again soon. Maybe, let's hope they all adjust to the ice and get a little bit better.
Yeah. And Housekeepers are huddling. That's something they discussed before the game. Like we should do a proper huddle after each end. That's what the big guys do at the league. And then somebody said, "Okay, but what should we talk about?" And then somebody said, "Well, of course, women and cars and football."
Hey, that reminds me of my old baseball days. That's what we used to do whenever the pitcher would need a call a time. A lot of times we weren't talking about anything except what was going on outside of the game. So Philippe starting things off for N19 here, looking for a guard up front, but Bard holding his hand up like this one's a little heavy.
Feels heavy indeed.
Yeah, this one's going to carry into the house. I mean, a very like an excellent LSD right there on the button.
Oh,
there's the zeros.
Too bad we don't have an overhead cam on the C sheet, but otherwise we could show a perfectly centered, center aligned stone there. Now,
So Housekeepers opting to leave that one in there on the house, going to try to build up the corner guards. Deciding that they want to score.
it'll creep into the house, maybe,
15
or will it
seconden.
stop?
Staying
komt de
off
zak in.
it. And, yep, that one gets in there just to prove Pim right.
Of course. Of course. John is leading 3-2 in the predictions, but after this weekend, I am going to make sure that error is going down into the history books of Belgian curling, never to be mentioned
Compliment,
again.
guys.
I think that that's another one for me. That's going to be another point for me if that doesn't come true.
Lijn is goed.
Line's coming up on this one, trying to carry it all the way over. Don't want to oversweep it. Oh, that's fantastic. That's exactly what they wanted there.
Excellent lineup.
Good stone
Eerste
there.
tikken.
And N19 is sending a message to Housekeepers saying,
Sneller als al juist, iets sneller.
sure, we made some mistakes, but look at it now. We figured it out. We just needed one end.
So, Housekeepers trying to play a tap back here, so they want to throw that same stone just a little bit heavier, so it'll curl over, tap their red one or yellow one into the house a little bit deeper, and then set up a guard in front of it.
Welkom.
Trying to get this one to curl over a bit. It's not going to quite get on the nose. Does tap it back. Shooter sits in the house as well. Strong position. Not exactly what they're going for, but I still like this position.
Pak hem deze nog. Dubbel. En hier. Ja. Oh.
Looking to play the hit here. Trying to get this one to curl over. Gets one. Slides over. They're really close for that second one.
Yeah.
Dat kan goed komen.
I think that one worked quite well.
Nice takeout from Steph here.
Yep.
I think for not having played for, what is it, 8 months?
Ja, dank u.
Pretty decent.
Stel het.
Looking for a peel weight here. Just want to get rid of the guard here in the middle. Using some extra weight to try to keep the line in order. This one is going to catch, runs over, and slides the shooter over. Usually sits up for a nice corner guard there.
Yep.
Ja. Sorry.
This one feels like it's curling a bit wide. Nope, now he's calling him off. It's going to be close. No, that's going to be really
excellent.
nice.
It rolls
Actually,
to
I
the
thought that
center.
was on the outside.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's going to roll in underneath.
Ook mooi.
Ooh, very nice little Swedish curl underneath. Kind of maybe sets up a double, though.
Yeah, but I mean,
But still a nice one. Get rid of it. Keeps the shooter there. It causes housekeepers to pay attention to it now. And Steph with the big smile.
yeah.
Always feels good to get back into your first game in a while and get some good stones thrown.
Yeah. Not easy to kind of come into a team that is looking for their first win.
This one's gonna curl over a bit. We'll catch the top one. Rolls over.
Gif.
And actually gets in behind that guard. I like that result. Not quite the double they were looking for, but that's still a playable stone.
Veel meer dan ik dacht.
Steph saying though, let's get out in front of it, use it as backing for us. So that's exactly what Bart is going to try here.
Ziet er hard uit.
This one feels a bit heavy.
Komt wel goed.
Starting to curl, but is that going to get over?
Feels okay.
Ja.
Stealing that spot behind the corner guard there. Very nice stone from Bart. Probably you clicked that already?
Yep.
Got it.
Hier ga ik
Ja.
niet aan, hè.
I kind of never click the shot of the match. I always assume John does. And then,
Oké. 2-5.
that was obviously a very good
Ja,
stone.
anders ga ik weer niet.
And what a difference compared to the first 10 so far. What a difference.
Yeah, it seems like the teams have adjusted to the curl and the ice, how much they have to go, which side. So I think we're going to see the quality of play improve significantly over that first end.
Len!
Brown with his classic feather touch release. This one's starting to curl over a lot. Are they going to be able to get this one around that yellow? I fear that's on the guard. It is. It's going to catch it.
Ja. Oh. Ja.
And it is going to spin over into shot position, I think.
Maar
But
daar kan het ook.
yeah, that's sitting out in the open. They're going to try to get rid of this one.
N19, they are still in a situation where they can make sure housekeepers cannot score 2 or more on their hammer here.
Calling them off. Now they get back on it. That's going to hit right on the nose. So don't get the rollover, but still get rid of that shot.
2-5.
They really wanted that shooter to roll over on top to make the double a little more difficult, but there's still a little bit of a gap. So nothing given just as of yet, but three stones in the house, and N19 is sitting.
Three houses in the stone, and then and then I'm off to bed.
Land.
I'll hold this one straight, sweeping it hard.
Come on.
Gets on the nose and rolls over. Puts that red one in behind, so.
Makes the takeouts for N19 slightly harder, although if you find a good angle, it shouldn't be that much of a problem, though. You don't really want to have a jam.
Je weg is dat niet erg. Of nog hier. Weg.
Then again, having that jamstone removed, maybe that's also not the worst.
Yeah, Stefan's saying it's not that important if it goes away. So
he's willing to make that sacrifice.
Because then the shooter.
Kijk, als het achterste weg is, is het niet zo erg. Liever de shotsteen voor de T-line in the house.
So yep, he wants the shooter to stay in the house in front of the T-line. So yeah, that's definitely more important than that red stone in the back. Hold this. Is it going to get? Oh, it does just enough.
Nobody is saving the hack there.
Nope.
But red is still sitting shot, and because of where the Yellowstone is sitting, suddenly they have a kind of stone in the back freezing. I still like how N19 is set up so far.
Yeah, I think there's enough of an angle that they could potentially get a double here. It's going to take a lot of weight. I think they're mostly looking at just trying to make sure they get rid of this one up close first. Or the shot stone first.
Land.
Holding for the line. Oh, maybe they held it a little bit too straight. Wanted that to curl just a little bit more. If they were trying to get it all the way over to the edge, but so if you're Stefan here, are you just trying to keep the shooter in somewhere there, so force the one? Or would you actually try to go for this double?
I would just nose hit yellow one, stay on the pin, and then kind of forcing them to do nose hit takeouts. And if they're slightly off, they roll out and you steal one. Very good nose hit takeout here would be my option.
Yeah, looks like that's what they're going for. Wanted to make sure this one doesn't curl too much. Ooh, it's starting to go. Can they hold it?
Girls.
Oh, that one, shooter rolls out. They do get rid of that shot stone. They are staying shot.
Yeah, they have an option to score two now, like with a controlled takeout here. If they find a good angle, they can score two. And losing that shooter was not what N19 was hoping for. They wanted to have two red stones in the house. But
the ironic thing is, if they had actually let that curl over a little bit more, they might have been able to get that double out that other yellow. But that's not a shot that you would have normally gone for.
At that point is like, okay, if we don't sweep, I mean, we cannot miss the takeout. Like priority is making sure you hit the takeout. Otherwise, trying to look for that.
Want to make sure they hold the line. Don't want to carry this over on the nose.
It's fine. It's fine.
And that's a great stone there. Good job with the sweep.
Yeah, excellent stone. And this is excellent from Brecht. So important here. It looks kind of straightforward. They say, yeah, this is what I would do as well. This is the right choice. But making the shot is so important here, especially with that backing stone there.
So good job from the Housekeepers there, keeping their cool, and the Housekeeper and the N19 really had that end in control, but they kept their cool, got things to go their way, made the shots they needed to. You know, that's like we were talking about in the pregame. You know, that's Brecht. You give him a shot, and he's he's going to make it.
Yeah. I think having a player like Brecht in your team, that it always helps. I mean, even if you don't play the perfect end, you have your fourth making sure he can kind of save the day with the last 2 stones, as he did with his last stone here. And that makes such a big difference, basically. Like you can relax, look at the scoreboard, and see your 2-point lead.
We have a scoring update from Sheet B. It's not Sheet A. Brewers Ducks over Wipe My Ass in the second end, 3-2.
Brewers Ducks, they started a bit slow.
Or 3-0, excuse me.
Oh, Bram lost his balance there while sweeping. So Brewers Ducks, I think they started with a loss against Critics, but then they working on their comeback and now doing pretty strong so far. I don't know if they will play Steengoed in this weekend.
I am not sure. Well-placed guard there from Kevin right on the center line. Brings that no-tick rule into play. However, with the curl on the ice, they will be able to get around behind that. So,
Quick peek at the poll on Instagram. Instagram community is voting for Housekeepers to win the game so far.
same here. We have 60% for Housekeepers. This one coming around nicely. Sweeper's trying to get that one buried behind that center guard, and that is fantastic. You can't ask for a better opening than that.
Watch the curl. Curl.
Wanting to try to curl this around, get a frozen corner freeze up on the red.
Curl. Come on. Come on.
Trying to make sure this one gets down. Asking for it to curl.
Come on, tegen. Come on. Come on. Yeah, roll up your string, Kev.
Excellent.
I like that one a lot as well. That's a really nice stone. Not quite the corner freeze that they wanted, but that's still pretty useful for them. Allow them to do a run back on their own stone if they'd like, get rid of their yellow, and then they'd be sitting with 2 stones in the middle, or excuse me, getting rid of the red. But with this curl, the swing on this ice, they should be able to still get in behind everything. So that's what we see them doing. This one feels a little tight. They're asking for it to curl, though. Does that have the weight to get down there? No, it doesn't. Going to come up just a little bit light. Yeah, so now what do you do?
Opening up.
Liggen.
Stefan opting for a draw. Or Sebastian opting for a draw.
Lucky day. Backline.
All right, going to play.
Mag dat al? Mag je nog niet? Nee, die eerste is een guard, hè.
Yeah, still trying to figure it out.
Ja, meneer Mag.
They cannot clear anything out yet.
Mag ik langs daar vragen?
Trying to figure out which side to come from.
Backline.
So just a little backline wait here, trying to tap yellow onto red. The red sitting in the house can be taken out. This one feels wide.
It was a choice that was very hard to execute. So interesting call here, going for this difficult option.
Yeah, and that one just didn't have quite the swing. Coming up that wall side of the ice, it just didn't curl. So that's something the teams are going to have to adjust.
And honestly, I must say I'm impressed by how Steph is picking up curling after being semi-retired for 8 months.
So it is kind of like riding a bike. Once you know how to do it, you can get right back into it.
Look at this! Look at this!
You know, and some of it's trusting your line calls. This
Wow.
is wow, that's fantastic. Wow. That is a brilliant stone. We are clicking that one. That's a 4 on the cards for sure.
Okay.
Now the real question is, Steph, is it true? Or are you secretly training in Canada? Have you been going to some kind of high-pressure curling booth in Canada with Rachel Homan and all of the super pros? Because pulling off a draw like that, I'm deeply impressed.
Yeah. You know, it's about having confidence and trust in what your skip calls and then just executing what he asks for. But you still have to get that execution part right. So this one looks going to get around the guards. Is that going to have enough to curl around to get on top?
Go.
Trying to get that to curl. Oh, what a follow-up. Wow. Back to back. I love it. That is incredible right there.
Yeah, and suddenly the housekeepers are stealing. And Stefano's looking at like, damn. Or darn, I mean.
Oh, swear jar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a PG-13 swear, but still a swear. So Stefan opting to keep things open or open things up now that they have the hammer. That's obviously what their priority should be.
Although, John, you said in PG-13 you are allowed 1 swear, right?
You're allowed to say, damn you can say, but it's the F word you are not. Well, I just swore because I just said damn. Now I said it again. That's twice.
I like how the level of play kind of keeps increasing. It's like first end was League C, second end League B, and now we're in League A.
And now we're seeing what the big boys really can do.
He's a bit light to me.
Yeah, trying to get this one to curl over. Plan B, get it on that center line.
Come on.
It would help if I had the right skip unmuted.
Housekeeper still stealing with a ton of guards in front of it, so they can afford a bit of a minor mistake, I'd say.
Hek, je kan niet veel uitgeven. Als je de guard hebt, is het niet erg.
All right, just going for hack weight here. Don't want to smash things out. Just want to kind of tap the red back, and if he gets rid of that yellow guard, it's also okay. Steph indicating it's heavy. Sweeper staying off it. It's going to easily clear around that guard. It's going to tap the yellow on the side, runs the red back onto yellow and gets rid of their own red back there.
Yeah, the angles were not just good enough for an A team to kind of gain advantage from that tap back.
But it does unlock it. So there are still, and both stones, 2 reds stayed in the house, so there's still some things to work on, but yep. That red is sitting exposed. Gonna throw a little lighter weight at it. Just try to tap it out, roll over to the middle, or maybe even to the outer side of the house.
Oh! Whoa! Ja, wachten.
This one feels wide, trying to get this to curl over.
Hard voor curl. Rechts scherp rood, hard voor curl. Okay.
I do get it over, gets rid of the red, yellow one shoots outside the house.
Heel mooi.
He had very pretty sliding Brahm. All right, going for the same here. A little hack weight. Now they can run both these yellows out. Ooh, that feels inside compared to the previous stone. They're going to need to work this because as soon as that crosses that center line, that's going to go hard. And they managed to get it around. Gets onto the nose-ish. Gets rid of one.
Yeah, that works.
That's a good stone there from Bart.
Yeah, definitely. I think N19 took back control of the center line there. And N19 has the hammer. And Housekeepers with one stone in a shot position, but it's a bit exposed, so they need to kind of guard it up, I think. Going for a takeout.
Yeah, looking at there's a double there, so I think that's their plan. Get rid of as much. They've got that one yellow sitting in the back of the house too, so.
Nee, want dan hebben we er gele potentieel mee. Ik zou hem liever iets hier raken en dan naar hier rollen. 2-5.
So just confirming. Brecht confirming with Sebastian what he's supposed to do. What they're looking for, so.
Good habit to be on the same page.
Len! Oh, girl!
They're gonna call in for a line, now they wanted to curl over.
Girl!
And
Ouch.
gets a tick, but no, and now takes out that safety stone in the back. That's semi-disastrous here because they've got an option of coming around, hitting this red, or this yellow.
Yeah.
En een backline.
I think if you're just able to get it out and roll behind the guard there, then all of a sudden, yeah, what option do you leave Housekeepers here?
Yeah, coming in, getting rid of that yellow. Oops, a little bit higher than that. Let's try that again. Coming in here. Nope, still higher. So
Backline, hack.
going.
Wel de shotsteen gaan.
Important here is just making sure that yellow is out. Preferably roll behind the guards, but you really need to deal with the yellow one. That's the shot stone.
Yeah. Shooter stays in. That's 3 stones for Housekeepers to deal with only 1 stone left. So obviously, if they can get one of these buried, it's going to be a good position, good strong position for N19. Called for the line. Now they're trying to get this curl.
He's wide.
This one's wide, and it's going to miss the chip.
Oh
and
no.
Oh, no.
This is the miss you cannot do if you want to score some points or your hammer, of course. Now you give an opportunity to Housekeepers to guard it up or to do something with it.
Maar liever deze kant. Ja. 2-7.
Yeah, they could even get into a position where they've got 2 in scoring position, kind of guarded up. So just wanted to make sure they get rid of this red one first.
Len! Oh! Len! Hard voor Len!
Wanting to hold the line, wanting to make sure. Kevin jumping in as well.
Oh! En naar binnen volgen.
And it gets a little bit of a roll inside.
I think there's a double, to be honest.
Yep, there is.
A good clean nose head takeout should do the job, maybe.
Ik had dat wel, denk. Ja.
An opportunity here for N19
Heel hard
to put their 2 on the board, tie the game after 3 ends here, but yeah.
Yeah, they need it to be on the nose. If it's a little bit on the outside, then it will jam. So straight on the nose there.
So Stef is vice skipping, which means he's also in charge of making line calls here. It's a big responsibility.
Yeah. No, there was a bit of a on the last one, but then again, I think that was going to be difficult for any skip or vice skip, even if you've been playing for a bit. So. Housekeeper boys standing under the microphone. Hey, we're trying to broadcast here. Keep it quiet.
No line call so far. Oh, and this is curling hard. I think Stefan is giving it up already. He kind of looked disappointed going straight on the guard. And is there an option with a bit of weight? But this... No.
Maybe they can get that last one out. No, unfortunately. Yeah, that was quite slow.
And just like that, they allow Housekeepers to steal 2. So 2 big misses from the Magician. Like 2 stones ago, they were sitting pretty good to score 3 points, and all of a sudden now Housekeepers stole 2, and they are kind of figuring out, is there something wrong with this stone? Like, how is this possible?
Yeah, I felt like that curled a lot. The weight wasn't quite there, so maybe it kind of had a braking effect on it. So just doing a quick check of the stone.
Stone can join his friends now. He has been turned upside down.
So our housekeeper voters are looking quite the prognosticators.
Yeah, and N18, they just didn't seize the opportunities that were given. So are a bit disappointed so far. And again, yeah, they really need a little bit of points in the league table. Of course, it's still 5 more ends to play. But 5 more ends could look like a lot, but if you're down on the ice, it can go pretty fast.
So Kevin starting things off here in end number 4 as the Housekeepers lead N19 4-0. Bit of a disastrous end for N19 on that last one, but they're going to try to come back.
And just when we were announcing end 3 was a League A end, it ended up not being that perfect. A bit off balance.
Bart indicating 5, so it might be a little bit on the heavy side. Waiting for it to curl over. Needs to curl a lot.
It seems okay, just does not curl as much as they hoped for. Although I think it's sitting in a pretty strong position. Maybe I'm too harsh for Philippe here because this is a very decent stone.
It does creep behind the tee line, so Sebastian saying let's come in and use this one to our advantage. So looking for a freeze here from Kevin. That red one cannot get any better since it's behind the tee line. It's starting to go away from the center, so trying to hold the line here.
Come on.
You see it really starting to curl over. I think this is going to over curl, get on the outside part of the nose, but it is hidden behind their own guard, so that's got a little bit something for it.
The glass is always half full here in the Curdia booth.
I mean, that is the kind of miss you want, where the stone still ends up in a position where you can use it. You're behind the guard. Okay, you're a little bit outside of where you wanted to be, but it's going to be a bit harder for the other team to come in and do something with it. So.
Trager is goed. Hij mag iets trager, hè?
So I want to get this one in on high in the house. Get to curl just a little bit more. Oh, that's pretty well played. This is exactly where Stefan wanted that.
Ja, gele, ja. Snelheid! Snelheid! Wilde geel raken of rood? Geel.
Yep. Going to be playing their own yellow out. Right now it's not doing them any good, so get rid of it. Oh, see, it starts to move a lot there, trying to hold it so it doesn't get on the nose. Unfortunately, they just traded one stone for the other, so That's not very helpful. Actually, even move that yellow guard over a little bit, so it's even covering up those reds even more.
Yeah, suddenly red is sitting very strong here. Opting to split the house.
And with that one yellow in the house, it narrows the scoring area, but it's sitting out in the open and behind the T line, so it's not really going to be worth it for Housekeepers to try to protect it.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
So this is going to allow N19 to kind of put more stones in the house, build something up. Weight looks good on this one. Maybe carrying a little bit wider than they would have liked. Oh, is that going to go too deep? Once it hits the house, sometimes it just keeps sliding, and that one stays in.
Very decent.
So, attempt number 2, trying to peel this one off, open up those reds in the house.
Lem.
There it goes. Once it starts to move, it starts to move. This one again on the nose, but does run back and gets rid of one of them. Oh, and is that going to freeze up against that other red over there? Ooh, comes close.
It's not freezing, but it takes the red out of the scoring position, scoring area.
Yeah, but that shooter, that yellow guard staying out there, that's still in the way.
Yeah, the yellow guard is the reason why N19 might score 2 here so far. Unless, of course, they can make use of their own guard and come around and freeze up against the red stone.
We're just looking for a draw. I'd like this one higher in the house, but indicating it might be T-line. A little bit heavier.
Oh, let hem vallen.
Just letting it go, letting it curl. Oh, and getting it frozen right up against that yellow. Oh, that's a really nice one. That's gonna be, that's gonna cause a lot of problems for.
Yeah. I mean, the room is still there, but now they are really forcing Housekeepers to draw in there, and it's going to be important they do, because if not, another setup to score 2 or more for N19.
So looking for a freeze here. Use that little pocket that's been created. Try to get something in there, make it hard for N19 to get it out of there.
Hard for land, come on. Hard.
Needing to get this one around the guard.
Blijf gaan. Ja, toch.
Yeah, they need to catch the inside of red.
Blijf gaan.
Does a little bit of a chip.
That works. I think it does the job here.
Yep.
I don't know if it is shot position, but
it's no Housekeeper, or N19 is still shot. Housekeepers, I think, are second.
Well.
Yeah. Sebastian really encouraging the sweepers to keep going, to kind of find the inside of the stone, ball back in. Now it's Bart's turn.
Indicating it might be a little on the heavier side. Got to sweep for line, though. Got to make sure it gets around that guard. That's step number 1. This one is going to over curl, though.
No, that's
catches it. And then kind of opens it up.
Yeah, and they waited a bit too long to sweep for line.
Wacht. Ja. Oké. Nee, ik vind neus wel leuk, want dan zijn die 2 weg.
All right, going for big weight here.
It makes sense. I mean, just getting some red out of the house. You have a 4-point lead.
Hier valt hem niet veel, denk ik. Hier valt hem niet veel, denk ik.
Making sure they have the right ice, the right speed. Get everyone on the same page.
Land!
Calling for line, trying to get him to hold it.
En volgen, volgen naar binnen. Volgen naar binnen.
Well, doesn't quite have the action that they were hoping. A little bit overcurl gets on the nose. Reds don't go away, only a yellow. But you've got 2 Yellowstones sitting in a really strong position there with some backing, so not a total disaster there.
Mag iets harder.
There's the call for the line. Trying to get this one as well. They want to get this one on the nose. That can angle a lot of stuff out. Moves things around. Oh, yellow's jam on everything, so opens it up, but not really.
Yeah, there's
Dit buitenkant neus.
There's annoying jammers there sitting on the side. That's the second time it happened. So that one little red stone that was not doing there, just all of a sudden kept 2 yellow stones in play.
Yeah, you see 2 big weight stones and really only one. Nothing's moved out of the house. Things have changed positions, but
Lem. Lem.
straight on to the
Lem.
sweep.
Oh, oh.
Now calling him off.
Curl, curl. Curl,
Now wanting to curl.
curl. Okay.
Now trying to get it so they can at least hold the shooter or get over maybe a possible double.
I think,
Job 1 is done though.
yeah, not a lot of options here for red. And yeah, you can do hit and rolls, but they are also behind T line, of course. So maybe a draw behind the center guard is also an option. But then
I think with this one, Stefan's looking at like maybe a little damage control too, because right now they're 4 stones against.
which
So
means, yeah, if you do damage control here and you have the hammer, it means you don't really trust your own draws at this point.
yeah,
Because yeah, what if you do a hit and roll and then you end up somewhere in the forefoot but behind D-line, and all of a sudden that's a very interesting setup to kind of come around the guard and do a draw with a backing stone there. If you're housekeepers, you might like Stefan going for the spin roll option.
Yep. Well, they're looking at a couple of different things here. So looking at take out, hit and roll in. They're looking at kind of drawing in and freezing up against there, which of course I can't draw. There we go. So something in like that.
But why would you freeze there? It's not like your second shot, and you have 2 yellow stones that you need to deal with at that point. So freezing up against there doesn't really make that much sense.
Okay. Well, the option then I think the option might be I think they're coming in,
Yeah,
hit and roll in.
Yeah, they do hit and roll.
Let me draw this at the right level. There we go. Hit and roll in.
Yeah. But as I said, well, then you roll in behind T line, and you still leave an option for housekeepers to draw behind their center guards.
Yep.
And
But sometimes you have to play what you feel most comfortable with, even if it's not necessary, even if it does leave options for the other team.
true.
Got to make sure this one get around, trying to hold it. It's not enough.
Oh.
Well, it's enough to catch the one. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
But they really needed that shooter to stay.
it catches the one, but you have a hammer. It's still an open house, and I don't think it's going to matter that much whether that stone is gone or not. It was the third shot stone. Now it's just a straightforward draw here. And they're not using the guards. They're just...
No, I think they're lying 2, and they're okay with it. So they just want to...
Yeah, I think just Bram overruled, like, hey, just put it behind the guard. That makes no sense. And I'm not sure, but I think I heard Dirk calling like, what? Why are they not drawing behind the guard? Just make use of your guard. You have it. It's there. It's there for you to help.
Yeah. It only helps you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's your friend.
Hier ben ik wel zeker dat we rond geraken.
Discussing, they want to make sure... They want to make sure they get behind that guard. If it's open and short, it's not the end of the world. But they really want to try to make sure they get this around to decide which side has more curl, or which side they're more comfortable with. Straight away calling them off. This does feel heavy. And it's very wide.
Enkel curl.
Never gonna curl enough, so the question is,
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Moet in tweet, moet in tweet. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
you get it in a very nice competitive position.
Met twee. Kom maar, kom maar, kom maar. Kom maar, Kev, kom maar, Kev, kom maar, Kev, kom maar, Kev. Oké, mooi steen.
I think on that one they would have been better off just letting it go.
Yeah, you don't want to sweep it too deep because then a takeout, you want to make sure that your takeout doesn't leave the shooter in a shot position. If you sweep it too deep, then a no-set takeout is good enough for a point. If it's in the 8 foot or in the 12 foot, then you can't really go for that no-set takeout. But this is a force to 1. I don't really see if there are 2 points in there. I think
Not
no.
really, no.
I think the redstone sitting in the 12 foot there is 4 shots.
There's there is potentially. If you leave it on this, they could come with.
Do you want to risk doing that very difficult
Like
takeout,
this,
losing the shooter, and if
there, oops, I'm off.
I think you have to come on the outside of yellow, but that's a very
Like
difficult
that,
one.
and then like that. Something like that can get rid of those, but
Seems so difficult to be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, that's not something you would really aim for unless it's last end or you just absolutely need this.
Yeah.
But
If you don't make it, I think the safe option here is just to go for hit and roll on the. I think he said I'm gonna draw and I have the yellow as a backing. So
yeah,
I
I don't know if that's enough ice, to be honest, because you could potentially see it go through. There's enough curl in there, so with that ice, if it's heavy, will it have enough backing? I don't know. I feel like that's not enough.
it's gonna be crucial here for the team to kind of toggle between option A and option B, kind of having good weight estimates, good line calls, and get that communication out there to make the stone end up in the shot position.
Philippe jumped on the sweep straight away, so they must think it's a little bit light.
Yeah, mission 1 is get around that front stone. This is going to be the case.
It's okay.
It looks okay, yeah. Looks okay.
Just making sure it gets down over, and okay, great stone from Stefan to take that one there.
And very, very good call from Philippe. Just kind of jump on the broom immediately. I think that really made sense.
Yeah, and as a sweeper, that's one thing you just have to do. You have to trust your gut and start sweeping, and then let the skips call you off. Let the skip or the vice call you off if they feel like it's enough, or your sweeping partner does. But he felt like that was light, and so he got on it.
You can always stop sweeping at some point, but it's very, very good that you make these kind of early estimates and early decisions. Don't wait too long, don't doubt too long. The fear of making mistake can be paralyzing, and in the end, that's the reason why you started sweeping too late or you called the line too late.
Yep, I think the teams are going to take a brief intermission. I think I saw Bram come off the ice. Stefan going over and talking to his Brewers Ducks partner or playing partner.
Yeah, the Black Ducks teammates there, and I think we can pop over to the booth and you can see it live, giving as I give directions to the crew here. But yeah, John, so far, I think I've made the right pick going for Housekeepers, but then it's also kind of the safe pick, the team on paper being the favorite team, and you also made that pick you didn't counter, and there were good reasons for that. I think Brecht is the strongest player so far. He's MVP. I think he made some crucial stones. And Stefan, the magician, he made a couple of errors, especially in the second end. Second end could have been totally different, but it isn't. And now it's 4-1. It's not over yet, of course, still halfway down the road. But I feel like if N19 wants to work their way into the game, they have to kind of step up their game a bit. If not, I think Housekeepers will just slowly work their way towards the end of the game and call a win.
Yeah, I think the pressure is on N19 for these last 4 ends. They're going to have to start making their shots, executing, and I think that's the one thing we just haven't been seeing is that, or they've they've been countered by Housekeepers. Philippe had that absolutely perfect draw in there, and then Kevin came right in on top of it. So
Yeah, true.
it's just one of those things where, okay, you have to, but those are the way the stones go. You have to start making your own luck, as they say. And yeah, right now Housekeepers are doing that, and N19 is still struggling to find the rabbit in the hat. So
Yeah, and before the game, we were putting the question mark on Steph, having been semi-retired. Is he going to bring the skill that's needed for N18 to win the game? But remember that super nice draw around all of the guards, putting it on the pin, and he's playing very decent. I think as the game progressed, we were shifting the question mark from Steph to the Magician, basically. Is the Magician going to step up his game and increase his shooting percentages? And that's going to be the new question for the second part of the game.
Yep. And I absolutely think that Stefan is going to have to find the stones. He's going to have to start making the shots, and that's really the only way he's going to be able to keep N18 in this match.
Yep. I didn't have an eye on the timing so far, on the thinking time. I don't really think it's an issue so far. Can't really peek from here, but I think thinking time should be fine.
The Housekeepers, they're all standing in front of the camera, in front of the thing, so we can't see it anyway.
Yeah, true. And this is a first of 4 games, because this is only your stream for tonight. But tomorrow we have Jakob Steenhout. Very interesting. I think League B is getting some very interesting games this weekend. And then of course on Saturday we will have the 2 newcomers, basically. Newcomers not as new to the league, but new to the season. Yeah,
newly promoted, yep.
No, not newly promoted.
No.
I'm talking about Team Ries and Viri. Team Ries, of course, newly promoted. Viri, of course, in League A, but they are starting the season. So they are...
Oh, right. Okay, that's what you mean by newcomers.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean like newcomers as in they step in. The first stones of the season here, deep down in November, close to December, but things can go hard here in Belgium, and all of a sudden December ends and we're starting second round of the season again. So they're going to condense all of their games basically in 2 weekends and less than a month apart, which could be an advantage.
Yeah, they won't have to have played on any kind of straighter ice and then gone back to now this more curly stones. So it will be interesting to see. Team Ries has played the tournament here about a month ago, so ice was moving a little bit more. We can talk about this. It looked like they're ready to go back out on the ice. So
yep.
Philippe starting things off here for N19 as they won the last end, scored one to bring the score to 4-1. Housekeepers are still leading. They're going to want N19 is going to want a good strong build up here.
Yeah, wants or needs, basically.
Need, yeah. Every team wants it. They kind of need it. So we'll play center guard, maybe a little bit higher with this. With so much curl, you might want this a little closer to the ice, but it is on that center line, so it is going to force the Housekeepers to pay attention to it.
Wacht even, curl als je kunt. Curl. Enkel curl, kwam. Wachten.
This one just not really curling out there. It comes now. It comes late. That felt like that was really hanging out there. And Kevin with the fantastic LSD. The only nitpick you could sick is that it's on the wrong side of the center line, but looking to draw in on top of it instead of attacking it. Use it to their advantage. Keep it there for backing. Sweep.
Immediately on the broom here.
Wanting to make sure this one gets down there, trying to carry it as deep as they can. This one looks like it's on a pretty good line. Is it going to get down for the freeze? Bart working it as hard as they can. Still a good shot. A little bit short, but still something for Housekeepers to deal with. Straight away we see Sebastian setting up, saying, let's get rid of it. You know, at this stage of the match, Housekeepers can kind of be a little conservative. They can just kind of start playing these out. Trying to hold it, make sure it stays on the wide side.
Okay.
Great stone from Kevin. Good job from Sebastian getting that, calling for the sweep, having him change it over from curl to line to make sure it stayed on the right side. N19 using it quite a few more minutes than Housekeepers have.
Yeah,
Thinking time. This one catches on the right.
Oh, too bad. Almost double.
Almost gets something out of there, ticks it back a little bit. So now it's behind the tee line. Shooter stays in.
Daar. Beetje clean houden. Stel het.
And you can see Housekeepers going for
Heel weinig ijs, hè?
controlling the end here. Every red stone they can get out is a point, and N19 can score. I think that's their philosophy so far.
Whoa! 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 Girls!
Trying to get this one to curl and roll over, but it's just that side just still staying kind of straight. So gets rid of it. That's job number one, but now it leaves a stone to hit and roll above the tee line, and that's exactly what Stefan is calling for.
Yep. Oh.
This one inside's gonna over curl and fly by.
This is not N19 you want to see if they want to come back into the game here.
En een guard wegspelen. Okay.
Multiple options. Sebastian saying, hey, maybe we should go take the guard, but Bram convincing him that splitting the house, putting a third one in there is a little bit better.
Just had a peek on the scoreboard of the other game. I don't know if you want me to spoil it, but it's looking interesting there.
I was waiting to bring the scoring update till later, but we can see the Brewers Ducks scored 5 in the third to bring the score up to 9-0 over White by Ass. Good stone there, good position, keeps the house split, everything above the tee, or those 2 wide stones above the tee.
Yeah, good setup here for Housekeepers. Forcing N19 to throw some takeouts here.
Sweeper staying off it. Has that got the line? Nope, that one is wide. So another crucial mistake here.
Zoiets.
Housekeepers upping. Let's take away the guard so they have nothing to go behind. Want to clean up that middle.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
This one's going to have some heat behind it. Saw Sebastian tapping the top of his head. That generally means as hard as you can throw it. This one needs to stay to the outside.
And there's
swear
an
jar.
enormous swear jar.
Oh, I've never heard that one before.
No. I mean, this is suddenly very interesting turn of events here, and for a moment there, I thought that Redstone would do a double takeout, but
it was close. It was very close. Yeah, and with that kind of weight behind it, it was certainly an option.
And N19 take advantage of this rare mistake from Housekeepers.
Often try to freeze it down on that yellow there. Housekeepers working this one hard.
Oh,
Want to
oh,
get
oh.
it down. It's going to tap off their own red.
Nothing.
Interesting. Not a bad result there, honestly.
Yeah, but the tap kind of made it
Ja.
worse, I guess, because the stones kind of split open a bit more.
Ik weet niet hoeveel er gaat vallen.
Sebastian doubting his own lines.
Denk het ook.
I guess they don't really care so much if that yellow one goes away.
No, no, indeed. Just want to make sure that the red stones are neutralized, not dangerous anymore.
Trying to get the right line.
Laan! Laan! Laan!
Straight away for line.
Hard voor Laan! Hard voor Laan! Hard voor Laan! Hard voor Laan! Come on!
Gets over, gets rid of the one.
Hier?
But leaves a pocket there for Stefan
Draw.
to come into.
Yeah.
Just going for a draw.
The fact that the yellow stone is still sitting there as a
Klein
backing
toevoeg
stone
zelfs,
makes
hè?
it interesting for N19 hier.
Dit komt naar baard. Ik had een beetje naar binnen, dus ik denk dat dat goed is.
Oh. Seen a lot of heavyweight stones thrown this one now. This end now trying to
Weer Vries.
kind of freeze it in there.
De vraag is niet zo erg, vind ik.
And the ideal is that they want this on they want it frozen on the yellow. They
Dit lijkt me veel ijs. Wat gaat
prevent
het erin?
the double, any kind of double.
Minder?
Bart saying less ice. And Leon saying the time clock is close. Yeah, housekeepers are going to, or not housekeepers, the N19's going to have to start paying attention to that clock as the match goes on. This one staying out wide. Weight was pretty good, just stayed outside.
Ja?
So, looking at a possible double here.
Ja, ik ben aan het denken nu. We kunnen wel 2-6 doen, ik geef hier ijs.
Trying to get the
Yep.
decision on the ice, how much speed they're going to have, and that's going to determine where he's going to place the broom. I think they've got this nailed down.
Laan!
Straight away
Kill,
on the
kill,
line.
kill.
Now it's trying to curl. You see it just
Laan,
kind of
Laan,
hugging
Laan,
that
Laan,
center
Laan.
line.
Laan! Laan!
Oh, there it is. There it is.
I think Brecht is really making the difference here, and
Yeah. Yeah, he feels good about that one, as he should. That was one of those ones that flirted with the center line. Is it going to curl? Is it not? And just kind of stayed there. And
if
Great,
Leon,
yeah,
if
very
you're watching,
Here,
how
here,
are
here.
you going to keep Brecht
Ja,
from
juist.
pulling off
Maar
this
ik-
kind of
dit
magic
is al
here?
2 voor hun.
Is Brecht going to be a
Als je hem
future
allebei
legend
wegkrijgt.
here?
maybe. We don't have a nickname for him.
Has to be something with the kind of I wouldn't say the blonde god or the kid or whatever. Or, should be something legendary. Maybe that's also a poll for
Get
people
again,
watching.
plaats
If you have
te
a
leggen.
legendary name
Waar
for
is die
Brecht,
weg,
because at some point he will kind of deserve to have his own statue here in the venue.
Veel precies.
I mean, I can't really recall big mistakes from Brecht in this game so far. On the contrary, I think he's made some very crucial, important, good stones.
That twice?
Why should I? We need a bigger boot. We really need a bigger boot.
Trying to hold this one over. Catches 1, but it jams on the red in the back. Oh no.
You can see the disappointment on Bart's body language.
Oh, it's just not going their way tonight for N19.
Oh, dat is gewoon ongelukkig dit.
Yeah.
I hear Sebastian even saying, oh, that's just on bad luck. And so now a draw for...
A draw for 4 and not a hard draw, John. I mean, how hard is it?
This is the hardest shot in curling. Especially after you've just thrown an up-weight stone.
And have quite a lot of backing.
Oh,
And I think,
niks
is this... It's not the final nail in the coffin, but it's going to feel like...
Well,
Dan kwamen we goed weg, maar ja, oké, daarvoor wel goed gespeeld.
8-1 after 5. That's...
And the comeback N19 was
Maar
looking
zijn we
for.
hetzelfde ijs als ons,
Well,
hè, dus
I don't think thinking time is going to be an issue because maybe 8 ends is going to be very ambitious. I think Stefan mentioning to Barks, yeah, we had a lucky break here. We were just unlucky.
Yep. Yeah. Matches are 8 ends, but only 6 are required to play. You can shake hands after the 6. So if... I don't think we're going to see an 8 end unless N19 does something big in this one.
Yeah, I mean, scoreboard looks very, very harsh on N18 so far with just 1 end, 1 point.
But that's just testament to how strong the Housekeepers are.
I
you
must
know,
say,
they show up for every match and they put you to it. So you need to show up with your A game.
Imagine if Housekeepers would train twice a week. How strong would they get, or could they get towards a men's challenger? It's an open question.
mocht er zelfs door zijn, hè?
Yeah, winners of the Gouden Carolus Classic 2024. Former Cup winners. Promising team here in Belgium and considered second best team
Nee, is goed.
in Belgium curling, and they prove why in this game here.
Hard, maak wel.
This one coming up light. Ooh, Sweeper's having to work hard to get it over the hog. Yeah, it just seems like the steam has rolled, has just kind of gone out of the sails. Oh, that's all right. The wind has gone out of the wind has gone out of the sails
The
of
steam has gone out
N19.
of this.
I know there's an expression with steam, but I forgot it in the middle of it, so I tried to pivot and it didn't work.
Len! Len is oké. Len is oké. Girl! Wow, blijven kijken, blijven kijken. Blijven kijken, snelheid voelt oké. Oh, niks doen, niks doen, niks doen. Ja, ja. dat is
Coming
erg.
in,
Dat is erg.
going to settle in just
Where's
behind the
Linkett?
tee, but still
Sorry.
kind of protected. So it does give something for N19 to use. They are going to try to draw around behind their own, maybe get in on top of it, but they've got to get stones in play and in usable. It's not enough just to have it over the hog line,
Chef!
but straight away for the sweep. This one's
good.
going to get around the guard, but I don't know if that's going to get all the way to the house.
Probably doesn't have the weight.
No, that's going to come around and
Serve as an extra guard here for the stealing Yellowstone.
Ja, tikske. Ja. Ja.
The question is like that four house. Did that kind of
Backline.
break the morale from any team? Because you're kind of all full focused. You're kind of in the game, in the zone, and all of a sudden, yeah, you get a four house. You're looking at an an 8-1 scoreboard, and maybe that's where you just start to relax and say, okay, well, it's not our game. Just let's play it out. Let's enjoy the ride and look forward to the next game.
Yeah, I think so. I think it just really kind of does kind of put a damper on it. You're not playing very well, and then suddenly you're down even more.
Hi, Nacho.
Nacho, good to see you. Welcome in. Just got home from work. How was your day? Tell me all about it.
You want to talk about it, Nacho?
Line is goed.
Trying to squeeze this one through.
Yeah.
They've got a line at that stone in the house. Oh, but this one comes up light. The line, whoa, and that picked up something and just moved all around.
And now the shot stone is even more protected there, and
that is unfortunate. Yeah, that. Or did somebody touch it?
I don't know. I don't know. We can always rewatch, of course, but Bart is already doing some gestures like, "Hey, I'm gonna drink a beer after this game." He put his broom on the side and,
Yeah.
and showed a bottle of beer towards the canteen. Like, I'm ready.
Yes,
I'm ready for my drink now.
Yeah.
Cool.
And unfortunately, Nacho, the after the last end, it looks like we're not going to have a full 8-ender tonight, especially with just the way that last stone went. So, but we've got 3 other matches, 3 other broadcasts this weekend. Hopefully, we'll be able to see you some more. But we still have, a good amount of stones left in this one. In this end, we can enjoy the time we have left together.
Gewoon backline.
All right, so looking to kind of tap this red one further back. Oh, that one's starting to move. Did they wait too long? Sweepers jumping on it. This one actually not quite. I think they waited too long to get on the broom.
It's also not
heavy
heavy enough.
Not heavy enough, but I think with the sweep, maybe they could have carried it just a little bit further.
Well, I don't think so. It had to be like back weight. So the idea was to tap back red, but it just didn't have to wait to even touch it, basically. So
be positive.
You can be positive.
Of a garden.
Yeah, I think for housekeepers, all of a sudden it's they don't really need to try difficult stuff at this point.
In football terms, this would just be the strategy would be park the bus, just throw up a bunch of defense and force them to make something difficult, but don't really allow them any scoring opportunities. So just gonna throw a guard over this one. Over these 2 reds, take away any kind of run back opportunities.
Girl, come on. Duck. Okay, heel mooi steen.
Exactly what they wanted. Very nice stone there from Brom. He's like, just doing my work. So now Bart's turn, and now he has to run a yellow back even further and has to hit on the line. This one inside, that's going to over curl. That's going to catch that red on the top and just kind of crash and do nothing.
No, I think it's GG. I think N19, they already made up their minds. And the reason why they didn't call the GG is because they can't yet. They have to wait and play the full 6 ends, but in their heads they're already waving goodbye to this game, I think.
Dat pad van deze een beetje afpakken.
Yep. That is I mean, we've seen this. They've had this at the Olympic level as well. I think Italy was beating the USA pretty badly through 5, but they had to play 6, so they actually just kind of threw some some stunt shots in the sixth end. Housekeepers obviously not going to force N19 to do stuff like that. It was purely the choice of the losing team how they want to play that last end.
Kom on. Kom on. Blijf je aan, blijf je aan, blijf je aan. Blijf je aan, blijf je aan, blijf je aan, blijf je aan. Oh, oh. Oh. Okay.
A nice sweep from Skip there. Excellent sweeping skills shown from Sebastian.
We love the skips getting out there, putting the broom on the ice, showing they're one of the regular folks.
Yeah, just putting that final stroke to make it perfect, making the shot percentage 100%. There was a risk of having an 89% efficiency there, but the Skip rushed in there, avoided a shameful disaster, and put it in gentle stroke. Credits where credits are due, John.
Yep. So trying to run this back, maybe kind of open some things up a little bit. Tink, tink, tink. And, well, it's 2 out of the 3.
The curling gods are really not giving them anything. Even with a shot like that, they do not have a single lucky break.
Not today, Bart. Not today.
The curling gods could have given them a double takeout, but no.
Okay. Maar? Ja, nee, ik zou hem niet achter doen. Jawel. Plan A. Ja, maar als we dan hier open liggen, dan gaan we een dubbele doen. Plan A.
So just looking to guard it up, take away any kind of draw into that top or maybe even a hack weight back line to try to move things out. But playing it safe, going to force N19 to play the difficult shots if they want to score.
Len! Enkel Len! Len! Over en out! Over en... Hard! Die komt er, die komt er. Over en out. Oh, oh, oh.
Wanted to make sure this one gets over. It gets out there, but I think it over curled, so still a possibility to come in around behind it. Not quite sure if that is what they're going to look at.
And down to skip stones here. I still hope we can see like at least one magician stone here in this game.
His hair is growing back, so he's got a little bit of flow going down there.
Yeah.
Cut it quite short. I think it was at the beginning of the season, or was it the end of last season?
Yeah, I think it's the beginning of the season. She should not have done that. I mean, see what happens.
But he said his wife liked it, so I think that's all he cares about.
Hey. That's the final boss.
Got some big weight on this. Sweeper staying off it. Let's see what happens when this crashes down the middle. A little bit outside. Oh, just kind of goes over their own yellows. That could have been an interesting result.
Now, is there this kind of crazy run back like tap, 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 all going for these center stones? I don't really have.
That's what he was going for. He was kind of coming up for something like this, onto this, onto this, this. So I don't think any of that was really going to happen.
It could be. I mean, it just might.
Center line.
It's worth trying, basically.
It's when you're down by this much, why not give it a shot?
If it works, you can score 3. So why not? Why not?
Or they could have a shot of the match too. You know, it's like that's the real important thing. Brecht would very likely his final stone of the match. Just wanting this over the top, trying to make it even more spectacular.
Niks. Geef niks. Hier is perfect gewoon. Ja, is goed. Oh. Voilà.
Now, if you make a miraculous, crazy run back, you can score 3. Not going for that, I guess.
I don't feel like they've got the option on it. I mean, yeah, you've just added another stone into the train, so is that how hard do you have to throw it from that? Because every stone you have to knock back, you need more effort.
Yeah,
So
and the yellow stone has to go out to at least get the full 3 points. So I think
I'm not quite sure what they're doing on this one, to be honest.
I think they're going for a double takeout option here. Turn back yellow onto the shot stone.
That's why we're.
Yeah, they're standing on just below. All eyes on the stone.
And this one does something. And he gets, just not enough. I love that effort, though.
Yeah.
That was something.
Even with the good stones, they just were not rewarded. And Stefan looking back to the scoreboards. And I think this is going to be a final call. They're discussing a team. Do we want to play one more, or do we just want to call it? I think
And
what
there
made
it
the
is.
decision here, like,
As handshakes. We are going to. What was the final on that one? Did they had one or two? One yellow.
Yes. Good attempt, but yeah, even with a success, they probably would have shook hands anyway. But that brings us to the final of our first game in a series of 4. And I think, John, I'm going to hop back to the booth. Oh, you already did.
I'm trying to get it all in there.
Yeah. So yeah, I think interesting game. Not as close as I hoped it would be. Not as close as I expected it to be. I thought that N19 would put up a little bit more of a fight at some point, but that they were unlucky, and the couple of mistakes they made, they really paid cash very, very, very hard. I remember that was the third end, or the second, where no, it was a steal of 2. That was the
Third end. Yeah, I mean, it's really Housekeepers showed why they are one of the top teams in the league, and they really put pressure on it. You make a mistake against them, they're going to make you pay for it, and they did quite handily tonight. So we are both winners. We will each get an extra point, but I retain the lead in the season-long prediction race. Because I am a genius.
Very, very modest winner here over on my left side, your right side. But yeah, still 3 more games to go. And I think for N19, well, this was, of all the games they had to play, the hardest one. If from the last 4 games they had to play, if there was one game they maybe expected to lose, it was this one. It doesn't change that much for them, other than, well, the mission is very clear. N19, they just have to win at least 2 games against their main competitors. I think a loss against Viri, Rees, or Köln would make things very, very kind of tense and close to stay in A, because suddenly you lose against a direct competitor instead of just Housekeepers.
I think with another loss, they will need some help to get through. I don't know all of the scenarios, far too many to calculate. Hopefully, we'll know a lot more after this weekend.
Yeah,
I think we're going to see with Rees and Viri playing 3 and 4 matches each. I think it's really going to shake things out. So they'll know what they need to do after Sunday.
I think that was the case also last year for us. There was a lot of kind of hypothetical options out there. What if they do this and then we do that? That you kind of need to go to the last couple of games in order to kind of figure out the last possible scenarios. But for N18, like 1 loss, suddenly they can max out at 4, and they will have a head-to-head that is not in their favor against kind of a direct competitor. So yeah, mission is clear, start winning. And for Housekeepers, on the contrary, for them it's also keep on winning, and maybe they can finish the season with 1 loss. Although Team Verreken won against Housekeeper, so that head-to-head is in favor of Team Verreken. But a lot more to come. I think we can look in these scenarios in the upcoming streams. We will have a lot to talk about.
Yep, I think so. But with that, we are going to say thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for those of you who chatted, stopped in, and said hello. Those of you who just tuned in and listened to us because you enjoy the sound of our voices, we appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and your favorite emoji in the comments. That really helps us out. And until tomorrow night, that is goodbye.
Bye-bye.